The Raven Nevermore, Earl Thomas, has been released by the Baltimore Ravens. I'm feeling so extremely poetic on this Tuesday afternoon. I hope you're having a very, very lovely day. Earl Thomas is no more. Wow. Unbelievable, right? He got in a fight with Chuck Clark the other day in practice and has been released by the Baltimore Ravens. Now, how does that affect Baltimore? Let's talk some Super Bowl odds. I'm telling you, I'm still excited about that secondary. I mean, you still got Marcus Peters, you got Marlon Humphreys, one of the best corners in the league. Jimmy Smith is getting some reps at safety, right? I mean, they're excited about Deshaun Elliott. You still got Tavon Young. You got some nice pieces in the secondary, obviously. Earl Thomas may be the best safety in the league, maybe the best coverage safety in the league here in the last few years. So obviously it is a loss, but Baltimore, man, they were 14-2 last year. They still got the MVP of the league. I think they are going to be in the fight to win Super Bowl 55. So they are at plus 650. Nobody has better odds than the Ravens. Kansas City is also at plus 650. I wanted to talk about two teams. I think one might be ranked a little bit too high, and the other one I think has a legitimate chance if things break right. Let's talk first about the one that's ranked a little high for my taste, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas football. I absolutely love their little fight song. They are at plus 1,500, the sixth best odds there in the NFL. You look at Dallas, man, they were 8-8 last year, but you look at their roster, you're like, this should be a Super Bowl roster. I can understand them being actually ranked high, because you look at the roster every year, like, they got a great offensive line, they have great running back, they have a really nice stable of wide receivers. Now they got CD Lamb, and I really like this kid. They got a quarterback, they were number 6 in points scored last year, and then defensively, you're looking at 3 really fast linebackers there. Vander Esch only played 9 games. Leighton Vander Esch, I like the kid, but he hurt his neck. That's worrisome. Sean Lee is always hurt. Jalen Smith has got injury history. And then you look at their secondary, kind of a solid group, although I'm not too excited about their safeties, but they only had 7 interceptions. That was the worst mark in the NFL last year. Robert Quinn led the team in sacks with 11.5. He is now a Chicago Bear. Now, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got Everson Griffin, 2 really nice players, but DeMarcus Lawrence only had 5 sacks last year. That is a little worrisome to me, okay? So I want to see him get back to his sacking ways. I mean, this guy's a legitimate 13, 14 sack a year type of player, in my view. And also, who did Dallas beat last year? I mean, they beat the Giants twice, the Redskins twice, they beat Detroit, they beat Miami, and they beat the Rams, who didn't go to the playoffs. They had a really nice win against Philadelphia early, but when it mattered most in Week 16, well, they lost 17-9 out there in Philly. So, and Mike McCarthy also, I mean, he was criticized for not running the ball enough out there in Green Bay. Well, that's been a criticism in Dallas here in the last few years. Jason Garrett got fired. I'm intrigued to see how he fits in there in Dallas. I mean, it's kind of like a box of chocolates here. You don't know what you're going to get, almost. You know, with Dallas there at plus 1,500. We shall see what happens. Okay, now the Titans. You got to remember the Titans, right? They are at plus 3,000. I just like the chemistry in that building. I mean, I'm not in the building, but from what they say, right? Mike Vrabel, it seems like the players are really, really drawn to him. They made it to the AFC Championship game last year. Ryan Tannehill had a really, really good year. Now, I got to see Ryan Tannehill do it again. I must admit, yeah, I have my doubts, okay, when it comes to Ryan Tannehill, but I'm telling you, he's got a really strong arm, and he's very accurate with the ball when he's got time to throw. And when you got Derrick Henry running the ball, you're going to be in play action, and that's what happened last year. And when he throws the ball to A.J. Brown, good things happen. I mean, this guy reminds me a little bit of Julio Jones. I don't want to, exaggerate things here, but this kid, man, he is a star in waiting. And you got Corey Davis, you got some nice tight ends, and you got a good offensive line. I think they're going to have a good line again this year, okay? Now, I know they lost Conklin. Jack Conklin is now a Cleveland Brown, but this Isaiah Wilson kid from Georgia, he is a young bull. I'm a little worried about those campus parties, though, out there in Nashville, okay? He went to Tennessee State the other day in the campus, and he was at a party. Wasn't supposed to be there. Police came. He thought about jumping off the second-story balcony to evade police. You can't do that type of thing. Okay, so I hope Isaiah Wilson kind of stays away from trouble and doesn't jump off second-story balconies here, right? That's important. So I really do believe that they're going to have a good offense. A very aggressive player, Isaiah Wilson, as is Taylor Lewan. Now, Logan Ryan left, which worries me a little bit because Logan Ryan is an interesting chess piece they put near the line of scrimmage there. I mean, intercepts passes in the secondary. Also sacked the quarterback, had 4.5 sacks. So I really enjoy the way that they deployed him and the way that they deploy their people. I'm interested to see how Vic Beasley does now in Tennessee. Harold Landry's a nice piece, and Jeffrey Simmons, keep an eye on him. He's going to be one of the better defensive linemen there in the league next year. So in the coming years. So Tennessee's at plus 3,000. Dallas is at plus 1,500. The Ravens are at plus 650. I think all have a chance to win Super Bowl 55. We shall see what happens. For everything regarding the world of betting, you can go to oddshark.com. Bye-bye now.